every step I rise anew, limitless dreams in clear view. No chains can hold my wild heart. I'll stay true, I'll never part. I'm not the one to be told what to do. I'm not the one to be controlled by you. I'm not the one to be put aside. Watch me rise up with my pride. You can laugh at me, you can clown, you can put me down around this town. One thing you can't do is win like I do. With fire in my eyes, I'm breaking through. Take your doubts and let them wither. I'm standing strong, I'm no quitter. They said I was just a dreamer. Now I'm the one who's the leader. You can laugh at me, you can clown me, try to drag me down to the ground. But here's one thing you can't deny. You can't win like I do every time. Can't win. Every fall taught me how to rise. Through the shadows I see the skies. Thunder in my heart won't subside. Stepping up, there's no need to hide. No need to hide. You can laugh at me, you can clown me, try to drag me down to the ground. But here's one thing you can't deny. You can win like I do every time. Can't win. I walk a path only I can tread. In this game I'm a player, not a pawn. They may try to cut me down, but still I'll grow stronger through each dawn. You can laugh at me, you can clown me, try to drag me down to the ground. But here's one thing you can't deny. You can't win like I do every time. Can't win.
They said I wouldn't make it, they laughed at my dream. Every move I made felt like swimming upstream. But yesterday I met a fan, eyes full of belief. In their gaze I saw the end to my grief.
Doubt didn't win, trust began. Looked in the mirror, saw my biggest fan. Heart beats like a drum, fight through the span. Kept on pushing, now I'm the man.
Folks called it trash, said I'd never thrive. Every word I spat, cut deep like a knife. Thought my wings were clipped, stuck in a dive. But mirrors don't lie, I saw myself alive. I put in all the hours, climbed out from the dirt. They dissed and dismissed, said I'd always get hurt. Met a fan so loyal, reflections don't lie. My biggest supporter is just me in my mind.
Through the noise and shadows I held my ground. Bumps, bruises, broken, no comfort found. But that fan smile turned my world around. Now I'm rising sky high above the sound.
Doubt didn't win and trust I began. When I looked in the mirror, saw my biggest fan. Heart beats like a drum, fight through the span. Kept on pushing, now I'm the man.
From the ashes I flew, they can't dim my flame. Every mocking voice only fed my aim. Yesterday showed me it's not just a game, 'cause in my reflection I found my name.
Folks called it trash, said I'd never thrive. Every word I spat, cut deep like a knife. Thought my wings were clipped, stuck in a dive. But mirrors don't lie, I'm the man.
From the ashes I flew, they can't dim my flame. Every mocking voice only fed my aim. Yesterday showed me it's not just a game. 'Cause in my reflection I found my name.
Said I never thrive. Every word I spat, cut deep like a knife. Thought my wings were clipped, stuck in a dive. But mirrors don't lie, I'm the man.
Good afternoon. Give me a second. My mic is acting funny real quick. Hold on. What's going on here? Let's fix it. Give me a second to fix this stupid mic. Hello. All right. Um, let's give it a try. Let's see how it goes. Should work okay. Let me know if you can hear me okay. If you are here, let me know if you can hear me okay. Software mix up, you know how it goes with technology, but we are going to adjust. We're going to adapt. We are here. I am Tickle Druff. We are Engineered to Win. Welcome. It is Sunday, February 9th, 2025, which I believe it is also Super Bowl Sunday. What's up, Javi? How are you doing, my guy, Javi? You know what? Can you believe that jerk Javi actually submitted me on Friday night? I was like, did this little bastard really do this? But he did. And I was like, you know what? Great job, Javi. Great job. Learning very, very fast. So shout out to my guy, Javi. What's up, Roxy on the Scrubs in the building? Miss Freckles. What's up, everybody? All right, we're going to get started with the show. Had some mic mix up, but I'll get that taken care of after the show. But we're good for now. So let's get going. Let me say thank you, everybody, for joining. We have a lot of work to do today. Let me jump into our agenda and also have it's not an icebreaker, but I have it in the icebreaker segment just so I can get some insight from everyone out there. Let's see. All right. So first and foremost, I just want to say thank you so much to all of the subscribers to the channel. You guys are helping the channel grow, keep going, helping me add value to all of you guys. What we're going to be talking about today. So I am going to be introducing Terraform into this Kubernetes thing because when I was doing Kubernetes last week on Google Cloud, creating the cluster, it was starting to cost a lot of money because keeping it up. So we're going to do both, right? So we're going to be Terraform is infrastructure as code, where we're going to be building out our infrastructure in an automated way, so we can bring it up, bring it down really quickly. So what we did last week was we created the cluster in Kubernetes on Google Cloud Platform. We are going to do that in Terraform, and then we're going to go into Google Console to do the manual steps. Once we figure that out, then we're going to also do that in Terraform. So kind of doing things side by side, which is going to give us the opportunity to use Terraform again. We used it a lot last year for our quotes application infrastructure on AWS. We're going to use it on Google now with Kubernetes. And so it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be messy, but we are going to learn nonetheless. Because I am not trying to pay all this money for infrastructure that I'm not using. So we have to be frugal in our software development and our DevOps skills. All right. But let's get it started. So thank you to all the subscribers. Thank you to all those who are brand new to the channel. Hopefully I'm adding value to you. Thank you to all those who have been with me for a very, very long time. Shout out to all of my amazing, amazing moderators. And a salute to all of my tech barbarians who are putting in the work every single day, grinding so hard to level up at least 1% better every single day. And a big thank you as well to the tech mercenaries. Those are the YouTube channel members who keep the channel going. You guys are amazing.
Let's get it.
All right. So real quick announcements. Next upcoming live for me. So tomorrow morning, all right? Make sure you write this down. I'm going to drop the link to the channel for tomorrow morning, because I am not going to be live on this channel, right? I was thinking about doing two. I'm like, nah, it's going to be too much. I'm not going to be live on this channel. I am going to be live on Talk That Tech Show at 7 a.m. Eastern time with my guy, Tech Bags Trey. I'm going to be filling in for Joseph on Talk That Tech. So if you want to hear the conversation that me and Trey are going to have, come and join us over there. I'm going to drop the link in the chat as well. But tomorrow morning, 7 a.m., Talk That Tech. All right, let me drop that. Where is it? Talk That Tech Show, 7 a.m. Boom. So it's in the chat. Go subscribe to that channel. That's where I'll be tomorrow morning, hanging out with Trey as we talk tech talk, right? So it's gonna be really fun. All right. That's tomorrow. Then Wednesday, regular schedule. We're gonna be continuing with our large language models, where we are building out our content creation assistant workflow. I use it every single day. It's so crazy how much I use it now. Like, we built it 2 weeks ago and I'm using it all the time. All right. So you definitely want to be there on Wednesday morning. We have also Tuesday night, we're going to be going live for our tech Q&A show. And tomorrow we have Candid Conversations. I'm going to be talking about why winning is so hard for people and how I filter out who wants to win versus who doesn't want to win, and how I'm going to allocate my time. All right. And I'm planning on talking about DeepSeek, large language model, and my experience with it on Wednesday. So on Wednesday for our software explorations. So that's the upcoming plan for the week. And lastly, I already have it scheduled for next Saturday night, 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. I'm going to be going through the Abandoned album listening session and track breakdown on the story behind the tracks. We're going to listen to it together, and we're going to be talking and, sharing feedback and all that good stuff, right? So looking forward to seeing you there next Saturday night, 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. So that's February 15th. Is that Galentine's Day or something like that? I don't know. But February 15th, 2025, Abandoned album listening session. The album comes out on Friday at midnight. It's going to be an amazing, amazing album. So I'm looking forward to your feedback on that as well. But you see the hat, see the shirt, Abandoned. I am sold. I'm locked in for the Abandoned album. All right. So that is our upcoming schedule for the first half of the week included, but I'm also throwing in Saturday as well because I'm excited. So many cool stuff are going to be coming. I have a lot to share about this album and all the work that went in behind it. It's not just creating the album, but there's so many other things that I want to share. And some of where some of these songs came from, I can't wait. I cannot wait for next Saturday night. I can't wait for next Friday. I can't wait for next Friday, but Saturday night to share this information with you. It was truly a team effort to get it to where it is today. All right, so that is the plan for this week. And as we progress through the week, I'll share about Thursday and Saturday and all that other stuff. Right, but let's get going. Let me check the chat, and then we will get to the semi icebreaker. But it's a really important topic, and I'm going to share some information about it. But I need your help to gather some data for research, and but I'll get to that. I'll get to that. Right. But first and foremost, let's see what we got going on in the chat. Let me say hi to my friends. We have the one, the only, Roxy is in the building. What's up, Roxy? And let me see, we got Maddox here already. What's up, Maddox? How is it going? Max was going to ask, how do you like that microphone? So this microphone is absolutely amazing. I actually want that other microphone, but they are not dropping the price on that whatsoever. So that's why I'm still, this one is amazing. This one is amazing, but I do want that other microphone though, the slightly upgraded one. But this one is absolutely amazing. It wasn't this microphone that was the error. It was the software that the microphone goes through. It wasn't recognizing the interface, and so I just switched directly to the interface. It was just a mess, but we're good now, hopefully. So you guys let me know. We're good now, hopefully. It says, what are you using for? So my sound. I see you, Miss Freckles. My audio terminology is terrible. So if you can let me know what DAC means, what DAC is, I will answer that, but I don't know what it is to be able to answer it. So let me know what that is, and I'll because what was happening before, the software that I was going through, it wasn't recognizing the interface, so it was a mess. So I just switched directly to the interface. Let's see. We got Miss Freckles in the building. What's up, Miss Freckles? I'm in the bushes today. What? All right. And we have my guy Javi, and my guy Javi. My guy Javi, he is getting so good in jiu-jitsu. I'm kind of afraid to go to class tomorrow. Let's see. What is? Oh, okay, cool. Let's see. Where are we at now? And you know it, Miss Freckles. Yes, the carry mic. Yes, the carry mic. It's been in my cart forever, but I'm like, they do not want to drop the price. They do not want to drop the price. It says digital to analog converter. Okay, give me a second. That's a great. Let me see. Digital to analog converter. Let me see. Okay, so I am using this Vocaster 1, if that answers your question, right? But it's like that's the interface that I'm using, where the mic is connected to that, and then that is connected to the computer. But I was also using the software for voice mod to like try to clean up the voice and stuff like that. So I'm not really sure how good it sounds right now, but you guys say it's good, so I'm gonna trust you guys on that. But so hopefully that answers your question. I'm not 100% sure if it does. Let me see. What does the mic connect to? Yeah, so it connects to the Vocaster, and in the Vocaster, I was using voice mod to regulate that, but voice mod is not picking up the Vocaster right now. So I got to figure that out. Ms. Freckles says, okay, back and forth I'll be. Okay, well, you know what, Ms. Freckles, I appreciate, even if you show up for like 2 seconds, Ms. Freckles, and you just say hi, that is more than enough for me. All right, so because I truly appreciate you, Ms. Freckles.
I appreciate you.
All right, so let's get to this real quick, because this is a tough topic for me to talk about because it is personal to me. But this is we're doing research. Well, not me, but let's get to it. I'll just break it down this way, right? So, are you familiar with TBI, traumatic brain injury, right? So, the reason that I bring it up, my cousin, which if you are in my Patreon, you would have seen her in one of the videos when we were doing the like Scrum presentation. But earlier last year, 2024, she had a bike. Let's call it a biking accident, right? And she got hurt pretty badly, and I guess so she has a traumatic brain injury. So she is doing research to see like what's the level of information, how much people know about it, and how to educate people more about TBIs, traumatic brain injuries. So she created this forum slash survey to gather information. She's going to be creating a podcast and some, writing some different documentation, blog posts maybe about it. Let me get the link for that. But if you could fill out the survey so that she can gather more data on, let me do TBI survey. Boom. So she can get more data as she does her research, because like she's going through a lot of physical therapy and stuff like that to help with that. But it's a very, very long process. And she's like, all right, I know there's not a lot of information out there about it, and definitely because I barely know about it. I know as much about it that I like just from her, and that's not that much that I know. But if we can get people to fill out the survey so that she can get more data and know how to approach presenting this information, then that would be super, super, super helpful for her. So you let me know. Let me make sure I should have tested the link out first. Let me see. Yep, perfect. So yeah, Brain Matters TBI Awareness Assessment. It's about 15 questions and really helpful to whoever can fill it out, and as she gathers more data, right? So I am not familiar with the topic at all. All I know is what she's told me, but I'm pretty sure a lot of people aren't familiar. So if anybody can go and fill out the survey, the assessment, that would be very, very, very helpful. All right. So that is the icebreaker it's not an icebreaker, but that's the announcement that if you guys can help me help my cousin out to gather more information. All right. So that is it. And it'll be, the link should be circulating in the chat throughout the show. So whoever joins in, if you can click it, fill it out, and that'll be amazing. All right. So with that being said, I'm gonna check the chat one last time, and then we will get to our first segment of work. Oh my goodness. Stop the show. We have my bestie in the building.
Did we just become best friends? Yep.
Mitch says it just gets to a point, and it used to get to the point a lot later in the show where Mitch was like, all right, I can't hold it anymore. I gotta let Ralph know how much I appreciate him and how much I love his channel. But now it's just getting earlier and earlier that he just has to express his love for the Tech Coach Ralph channel earlier and earlier. So thank you so much, Mitch, for letting me know how much value I add into your life. All right.
I appreciate
what a friend. What a friend. All right. Let me see. What else do we got? Mitch, you're such a bad. Roxy's last name is not Figs, okay? I don't know what Roxy's last name is, but I'm pretty sure it's not Figs, okay? Unless it is. Roxy, is your last name Figs? Is your... You're so bad. You're so bad. And thank you so much, Ms. Freckles, for filling out the survey. That's very appreciated. And Roxy says, I will complete it. Thank you so much, Roxy. I got a few TBI patients. It's serious. It's serious. Oh my God. You guys are so bad. I can't deal with you guys today. I can't deal with you guys today. I can't do it. I can't do this. All right, you know what? We're gonna jump into work. We're gonna jump into work because you guys are too much. All right.
It's time to do.
We're gonna jump into work because you guys are terrible. So, like I said, we are going to set up Terraform because it's costing too much to like. So here's what happens, right? I have to create the cluster in Google Cloud Platform, but then if I delete it, then I lose all the work that we did. So if we can quickly bring it up and then we tear it down, but in the process, as we are learning how to do this stuff manually, then we also learn how to do it in Terraform so that we create it, so that we also get it Terraformed. It sets up the infrastructure, and once we're done with it, we tear it down. Once we go back to work on it, we just say, all right, Terraform apply, and then it brings it back up. So Terraform destroy to tear it down, Terraform apply to bring it back up, and now we just keep it rolling, and I save money and not have to pay excess fees for stuff that is not in use. All right. So what we're going to do, let's do a quick recap of Terraform. We spent like a whole year on Terraform last year, but for those who are new, because we are growing rapidly on this channel, what is Terraform, right? Just do a quick overview of Terraform. So Terraform is an open source tool that allows users to build, modify, and version infrastructure components. It is infrastructure as code tool that uses programming languages to describe provisioning infrastructure, right? So what does it do? It builds infrastructure. Terraform can build infrastructure on cloud platforms and on-premises data centers, right? So you can use it like in AWS, you can use it in Azure, you can use it in Google. You can also use it on-prem to set up your infrastructure on-prem as well, right? So managing resources, Terraform can manage resources like compute, storage, networking, DNS entries, and SaaS features. So last year when we were working on the what do you call it? The quotes application, or DevOps quotes application, we pretty much Terraformed everything from our Route 53 domain names to our load balancing or Elastic Beanstalk. We're gonna have to go back to it, which I'll touch on our second break, but we're gonna have to go back to it to set up some new infrastructure for the deployment for the microservice for the quotes app. But that's a different, like that's for another day, another show, right? It also does provisioning resources. Terraform can provision resources across multiple cloud providers and services. Reprovision resources. Terraform can safely and efficiently reprovision resources in response to configuration changes. How it works. Users describe the desired infrastructure using a high-level configuration language called HashiCorp Configuration Lang, HCL. Terraform generates a plan to reach the desired infrastructure. Terraform runs the plan to provision the infrastructure. Who uses it, right? So DevOps teams use Terraform to automate infrastructure tasks. So we like, this is part of the course, but it's later on down in the course, but I'm still going to bring it in now because we used it last year and I kind of need it so I can save my money, right? Organizations that plan to deploy a hybrid cloud or multi-cloud environment may use Terraform. What programming languages can use it? Terraform can use programming languages like TypeScript, Python, Java, C#, and Go, all right? So that is all the stuff with Terraform. We're gonna be using the Terraform website as we navigate through setting it up for Kubernetes, right? Because I've never set it up in Kubernetes before, right? Let me make this a little wider. All right, perfect. So with that being said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up a whole new project, which is going to be managing the infrastructure of our Urban Dictionary of Economic Data, right? So I'm going to be using WebStorm because we've been using WebStorm for the whole project. So I'm going to go to the other side. And we're going to say, I'm going to call the project, let's call it Urban Dictionary Economic Data Infrastructure. Or let's call it infrastructure. I don't want to call it Terraform because what if we end up using CloudFormation with AWS at some point, right? I'm just going to call it infrastructure, right? And let me bring this over to here. All right, so I'm just going to create a new folder called Terraform, right? And that'll house all of our Terraform code in there. Next up, I wonder I have Terraform. Do I even have Terraform? I should have Terraform installed on this computer, I believe. Let's see. Let's go to. I honestly don't even remember what the. Let me see. Terraform. I don't remember what any of the commands are for Terra. Do I have? I don't know. Let me. All right. Let's find out. Let's find. I don't even remember if I should have Terraform on this computer. I don't remember. Let's see. Terraform. Let's see. Let's see. Let's go back a page. Terraform. Download. So brew, tap, HashiCorp. All right, let's. I honestly don't remember. So I'm going to brew, tap. Let me do it in a terminal. I'd rather do it in a terminal than inside of WebStorm. So we're gonna do Terraform, or brew, tap, HashiCorp, /tap. And now it's updating. Did we? I guess we never installed Terraform on this computer. Maybe we finished Terraform. Maybe we finished Terraform before we actually started. Before I actually got this computer. So now we're gonna do brew install HashiCorp /tap /Terraform. Oh, imagine that. We never had Terraform here. I could have sworn I had Terraform on this computer. Let's see. All right, so now if I do Terraform. Okay, now we have Terraform, all right? So let's do a Terraform version and V1. All right, cool. So we're good on that. We have Terraform installed. Next up, we are going to do, so let me go back over here. And we are going to say, let's go to this browser now. We're going to say, I don't know what this is showing. Google, and I'm going to search for, let's see here. Oops, that's not what I want. Terraform, Kubernetes, cluster, Google Cloud Platform, or GKE. All right, so create a GKE cluster and deploy a workload using Terraform. Let's see. All right, so create a cluster and deploy a workload using Terraform. So Kubernetes cluster provides compute storage. All right, so we already know that. This tutorial lets you quickly see a running Google Kubernetes engine cluster and sample workload, all setting up using Terraform. Then you can then explore the workload in Google Cloud Console before going into more in-depth learning path or start planning and creating your own production-ready cluster. Okay, so let's see what else. Let's see. All right, so we already have our project selected. We already have GKE API enabled. Make sure that you have the following role on this project. Role is container admin. Okay, I'm pretty sure we have that. Can always go back to that. All right, so prepare the environment. All right, so in this is where you use Cloud Shell. All right. So they want us to clone this. Let's see what this GitHub repo is. Let's go here. All right, let's look at this Terraform doc sample. Terraform samples intended for cloud.google.com. To run Terraform samples, yeah. All right, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna look into the, I'm gonna look at, let's see what they have in here. I don't know if I want to use theirs. I don't know if, let me see, is there any other thing out there? Let me see. Let me see. Let me see this one. Build complete Google Kubernetes engine infrastructure using Terraform. Okay. Buckets for Terraform state. We will create a bucket in Google Cloud Storage to persist in the Terraform state. Terraform will save any changes to its state to this bucket. To create the bucket, go over here. Okay, give it a clear name. Cluster, TF state, then continue. Let's see. All right. I'll go with the Google one. I'll go with Google for now. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Enough analysis paralysis. Let's get to it. Let's get to it. Okay, so let's start off with this command here. Launch a cloud shell from the Google key. All right. The service credentials associated with the virtual machine are automatic. So before you run, set your default. All right, so we have that. Let's see. Prepare the environment. We have our environment already. It says clone the GitHub repo. Let me see. All right. What I'm going to do, I'm going to clone this repo right here, and then I'm going to move it into the content of it in that project, right? So if you guys remember when we're going through the Linux commands for ethical hacking, it's going to be a similar concept, right? So let's go over to here. And let me open up my terminal again. Clear that out. I'm going to say cd webstorm. And I'm going to say git clone the project from Google. CD, and I'm going to go into Terraform docs, ls, and these are all the things that I copied over. I don't think I need all of that stuff though. That's going to be way too much stuff in there. So, all right. So, all right. Let's do this. We're gonna open this project. We're gonna open this project in. We're gonna open this project in WebStorm, and then we can take a look at their code and see what they're using for Kubernetes, because that's really all that I need right now. New window. So they have everything in here, right? So if I look at Kubernetes though, GKE, autopilot, basic, main TF. So if we're looking at this one, right? It says resource Google Container Cluster default GKE autopilot basic US Central 1 enable autopilot. So this is all we really need to create the cluster, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a folder in here called GKE. I'm going to initialize Terraform. So let's do Terraform and look at our options that are available. Prepare your working directory for other commands. So we're going to do a Terraform init command. All right. No Terraform. Wait a second. Okay. So cd ls. So let's do the Terraform init in there. All right. So the directory has no Terraform configuration files. You may begin working with Terraform immediately by creating Terraform configuration files. So if we go in here and we do a main.tf and let's install the HashiCorp plugin. And we're going to say, okay, we are going to copy this code right here into here. Deletion protector will ensure that one cannot accidentally delete this instance by the use of Terraform. I'm going to change this to US East or East 1. The name is going to be UDEC GKE cluster. Let's see. In Terraform, so let me do a Terraform plan. No configuration files. So the plan requires configuration to be present. Planning without configuration files would mark everything for destruction, which is normally not what's desired. If you would like to destroy everything, run plan with destroy option. Otherwise, create a Terraform configuration file and try again. So if we go into cd GKE Terraform plan, the following dependencies recorded in the log file are consistent with the current provider. Required by this configuration is, but no version is selected. To make initial dependency selections, it will initialize the dependency log file. So let's do a Terraform init in there. All right, so it's creating the Terraform for that particular provider. All right, so now we have our Terraform set up. So get plan or get Terraform plan. So attempted to load the Terraform encountered an error in generating the plan. Registry Terraform requires explicit configuration. Add a provider block to the root module and configure the provider's required arguments as described in the provider documentation.
Lunch break! Lunch break!
Cool. So we're going to, so when we come back from break, we are going to go to this link and set up the documentation, or we're going to set up the credentials, how we're going to get the credentials for this particular, for Terraform. That way we can actually set up our Google cluster through Terraform and then start working that way. All right. But it is time for break. All right. Get a sip. I am going to check the chat, and then we will get to our first break time discussion. Let me see. What type of mischief is everybody up to right now? Let's see. Oh my goodness. This is so bad. This is bad. All right. So Miss Freckles is asking, what are figs? Wait till you find out. Wait till you find out. So Roxy says, ask Mitch. He loves the figs. Miss Freckles says, you're a future veterinarian. Wow, you're gonna be a veteran. Look at that. Is Miss Freckles, is Mitch, like, when you say your future is like his future veterinarian, like, is he going to be a patient, or he's going to be like the owner of the particular pet? Or like, I think I'm leaning towards patient though. I'm leaning towards patient. All right. Let's see. Those things. It says, you like animals. Ralph is a porch cat. I am a porch cat. Miss Freckles is allergic to cats. Terrible. You guys are so bad. It says TCR has magical powers. Oh, look at that. You see, thank you, Miss Freckles. Let's see. Did I? Figs are delicious. Let me see. I made my first video edit yesterday. Oh my goodness. Where can we see this? Where can we see this video edit, Miss Freckles? Where can we see this video edit? That is amazing. Congratulations. You get all, Miss Freckles, you are having an amazing week. Let's clap it up for Miss Freckles. Miss Freckles says, my dad refused to critique it since it was my first one. I'll tell you. Let's go down memory lane real quick, right? When I made my very first website, it was for my barber and the barbershop that he was at. And I thought it was absolutely amazing. And I'm showing it to people like, oh yeah, it's nice. I showed it to my dad. He was like, what the hell is that? In hindsight, it was pretty bad. It was terrible. But he was actually honest with me, and you know what? That motivated me. That drove me to do so much better. So your dad, tell your dad to be honest with you. Tell him not to hold back. Be honest with you, right? You gotta be honest. And Mitch says, I would have said it is trash.
Bruh.
You're so bad, Mitch. You are so bad. It says, nah, he's supposed to, though. That's how you get better. That is true. It says, ask TCR to view it and give his opinion anytime. Send it over.
Let's get it.
I tell Ralph that his trash all the time. He gets better. That is a fact. That is a fact. It says, I will think about it. I'm an artist and I'm sensitive about my stuff. You just gotta put it out. You just gotta put it out there. Look, Miss Freckles, you cannot care. You cannot care with what anybody says. You heard the song at the beginning. You have to be your biggest fan. People will tell you that the work that you do is bad. They don't like it. But there's two things that come from that, right? It builds resiliency and it pushes you to be better and better, because if you go back to the very first video on my channel, it was horrendous. And now it's a little less horrendous, right? It's a little less horrendous. I'm more comfortable. But you just got to keep going, keep getting better every single day. You cannot let anybody ever discourage you from what you're doing. You know, take everything as constructive criticism and adjust, get better. And that's how that, like, let them laugh, because at the end of the day, you produce something and they didn't. So you have that, right? And now you continue to learn and it gets better, right? So don't let feedback or criticism, or even if they make fun of it, right? Whatever, who cares? Look in the mirror. You are your biggest fan. That's why I have that song, right? You have to be your biggest fan. It says, Mitch said exactly what I was saying. Says, but you did it. Most people don't even start. So that's 100% fact. That is 100% fact. Roxy says 4 more likes would help buy a new mic. That's hilarious. Says I'm going to make another. So there's no mercy on me. Just do it. Just do it. Let's see. Says, nah, Ralph owes me money. But you can't talk about what goes on in the back office in public. Like, all right, you know I'm like 3 months late on your payments, but the non-compete says I can be 12 months late. So I have a whole year before I pay you. All right. So just be patient. All right. Be patient with me, Mitch. Let's see. So you need to play his money song. Oh my goodness.
Where is my money? Tell me where.
That's all you get. That is all you get. All right. That's all you get. Says I be getting mad because when I'm donating to other people, I'm like, wait, is that my money? Oh, you're hilarious. You are hilarious. It says when TCR is typing and it auto-populate after you, it says, does it auto-populate info after you type? Are you talking, where are you referring to? Are you talking about in the browser or in the terminal or in the, yeah, let me know which one you're referring to. Let's see. We got Bearded Ruckus in the building. What's up, Bearded Ruckus? Let's see. It says, I guess I will send it now. No sweat. Everything, whatever, anything anyone ever tells you, right? Take it in a positive light. Whether they say, oh, this is absolute trash. When I saw it, made me want to throw up. Whatever they say, Miss Freckles. Whatever. Who cares? Because everybody has an opinion, right? But you did the work. You're learning. You're growing. So it doesn't matter. It does not matter at all. It says, how long did you wait before you did your first video? Are you asking me or are you asking Miss Freckles? If you're at, yeah, when you say how long did I wait before I did my first video, do you mean like my first video that I put on YouTube? Because if that's the case, it may be like 10 years, probably like forever. I don't know. And it's in terminal. So in terminal, when you start typing, when you press tab, it's going to either autocomplete or show you options to autocomplete. As some Mr. says, just like me, waited my whole life before before I put my first video. I agree with you, Ms. Virgos. I took way too long before I started, but you know, it's you just gotta get going. All right. Let's talk about this real quick. So let's go to, let me see, what was I? We are going to this. I saw this on LinkedIn. I wanted to get some insight from you guys, all right? So we are going to Would you take a pay cut to work from home? Right? Because a lot of people, they're going crazy because companies are telling people to go back into the office, and they're like, oh no, I have to stay remote. I have to stay remote. So I saw this article on LinkedIn about taking a pay cut to stay working from home. Right. So let's take a look at that real quick. Let me zoom in on that, and let's look over here. So it says 40% would take a pay cut to keep work from home. So now the question is, what is the amount of pay cut though? So as more and more companies crack down on remote work, and let me know in the chat, right? Would you take a pay cut to work from home, right? As more and more companies crack down on remote work, retailer Gap is the latest to call its corporate staff back to the office. A Harvard Business School study underlined many workers. I'll throw up 5 minutes on this as well. Says underline many workers continuing a preference for remote options. Per the survey published this week, 40% of work from home employees would take a 5% pay cut rather than return to office, with 9% claiming they'd go for as much as 20% of their salary. So they're saying. So 5% said, so 40% said they would take 5% pay cut. So that means, let's say they were making $100,000 a year for a nice round number. They would take $5,000 off to stay working from home. However, 9%, so out of 100 people, 40% said they'll take up to a 5% pay cut, or they'll take a 5% pay cut. But 9%, so 9 out of the 100 said that they would take up to 20%, which would be, if they're making $100,000, they'll take up to $80,000. They'll take up to $20,000 cut, so they would take $80,000 take home pay. $20,000 is a lot. $20,000 is a lot. $5,000. $5,000 depends, because when it comes down to gas, wear and tear on your vehicle, having to do oil changes, tire rotations, all that type of stuff, having to drive to the office if you're in a high traffic area, the amount of time you spend on the road, lunch if you have to go out to eat, all that type of stuff, it could be like it could cost you more than $5,000 if you have to keep your same pay and then go back to the office. But $20,000, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money to forego on a salary cut. Let me see. Let's see what CNBC says, right? So, CNBC, let's take I should use the webpage summarizer for this one. Many workers value remote work to such a degree that they'll take a pay cut. The prevalence of remote work ballooned during COVID-19, the pandemic. Says 40% said they would accept a pay cut of at least 5%. So it was over 2,000 workers polled. So that means at least 18 of them said they would take up to 20%. That's a lot of money. No, not 18. If it's 1,000, it would take 90. So about 180. Is that right? I don't know. Don't ask me to do math on the fly, right? Don't ask me to do math on the fly. Let's see. Put another way, workers see the ability to work from home even 2 or 3 days a week as equivalent to getting a raise. I would agree to that. Data that Bloom has collected in recent years suggests that average workers equate remote work to a total of 8% raise. That figure seems remarkably stable. For some subset of workers, you can find higher numbers relative to the pay cut they would accept. Let's see. For example, the National Bureau of Economic Research working paper published in January that looked at workers predominantly in the technology field found they would accept an average 25% pay cut for a job that offers fully or partially remote work. The paper examined data on almost 1,400. Let's see. Researchers gather data on job offerings individuals receive and the job they ultimately choose, with the average gig offering $239,000 a year in total compensation. All right. I think that's good for now. So, would you take a pay cut to work from home? And what's the most pay cut that you would take? So let's say your company, right? They say, all right, we're gonna give you an ultimatum, right? You can either stay working from home, but we're going to give you a pay cut. If you choose, what is the maximum pay cut that you would take versus going to the office 5 days a week, every single day, no option to work from home unless there's an emergency? What is the, so would you say, all right, I'm not taking any pay cut, or I'm willing to take a pay cut up to a certain amount, and this is my amount that I'm taking the pay cut for? Like, what's the percentage of a pay cut that you would take? All right. Let me check the chat while we are talking about that. Let's see. Bearded Ruckus says, Dab, I'm 40, so it's taking me 40 years. I mean,
Get a move on. Back to work. Chop, chop. Let's go. Come on. Get a move on. Back to work. Back to work. Back to work.
My very first YouTube video that I put up was back in like 2008, where it's still up actually. It was of my friend. It was of a Honda, a 1996, I believe, Honda Accord. It was super customized on 20-inch rims that my friend had hooked up, and I put it on YouTube in order to play it on eBay, because we sold that was the first car that I sold on eBay. So we put it on eBay. So it was on YouTube, and it had like 300,000 views, but it's like meaningless views because at that time it didn't do anything. But it has a lot of views because people love cars. Roxy says baby steps. And I think Roxy says I won't to the working from home, taking a pay cut to work remotely. But you're also a nurse, Roxy, so it's a little hard for you to actually work from home. But also, I'm pretty sure you wouldn't take a pay cut either. So, Baby Roxy says I won't, but also depends on the situation temporarily. It depends. Roxy says I guess it would make sense depending on the percentage and your commute expenses, and it depends on what you do as well. Because like, if you're a doctor or a nurse or whatever requires you to be like a surgical tech, like you mentioned yesterday, those type of things, like there's no option for pay cut. But I don't know. It does depend though. It does depend. Bearded Record says the quicker to get to the bag by work. It's quicker to get to the bag by working in the office. Yeah, I agree. I do think it depends on the company that you're working for as well, because some companies like they focus on remote, right? Because let's say there's a company that's located in, their headquarters are in like Oklahoma or something, right? They're gonna have some people in the office, but at the same time, they're probably going to look into remote options as well to see if they can expand their, like if they're a tech company, right? If they can expand to other locations, because they might need to widen out their talent pool. So it really does depend, because I know some people working remotely in very high up positions that make a lot of money, or I think they make a lot of money. I don't know exactly how much they make, but it just depends. It just depends. But I do agree, when you're present, it is a little bit easier. Let's see. All right, so that is it for now. Let's get back to work. Let's get to our second segment where we're going to be setting up our credentials for Terraform, right? And remember, do me a favor, go and take the Brain Matters survey about traumatic brain injuries so that my cousin can gather more information as she does her research and starts planning her podcast on how she can help educate people who have suffered TBI, as well as people who might know somebody who has TBI, traumatic brain injury, and help them as well. All right, so let's get to it. Let's go. All right, so when we last left off, we need to set up our authentication so that we can be able to actually be able to Terraform our Kubernetes cube, right? So I'm going to click on this link and we're going to see what it has to say. What do we need to do? And let's go over to here. It says set up application default credentials. How to set up application default credentials for use by cloud client libraries, Google API clients, libraries, and the rest, the RPC API. All right, so how to... So if I remember Terraform correctly, we would need to go into this folder and let's call, let me see. Let's do it this way because I don't remember, right? We did it before, but I don't remember. So let's say Google, or let's say Terraform, Google provider credentials, Google provider configuration reference. So we need to set up a provider and we need to give it the name of the project, the region, and the zone. I don't think we need the zone, but sorry, so we need to set up a provider and the region. All right, let's do that. So we're going to create a Terraform file called provider.tf, and we're going to name it, I'll just be looking over here, provider Google, and project equals Urban Dictionary Economic Data, region, US East 1. All right, so we have that set up. I'll do a Terraform apply in a second, but I want to, all right, authentication. If you're using Terraform on your workstation, we recommend that you install G-Cloud and authenticate using user application default credentials as a primary authentication method. You can enable ADCs by running the command G-Cloud auth application default login. All right, so we can do that. Cool. All right, so let's do that. We are going, so let me do a Terraform apply. So we get. All right, so we need to log in. So we're going to go here. We're going to say clear. We're going to say G Cloud auth. That was weird. Oh. All right, I'm good. I'm alive. All right, so application. Default. And login. So that took me to a Google. I'm not going to show it, but it took me to a Google window where I'm going to show it here. I'm gonna. Oh wait. I'm gonna log it in here. All right, so we're authenticated. So now we are good. We can. So now let's go back over here. All right. Let's go to. All right, so we're authenticated. Now let's try the Terraform plan. And we are good to go. Where it is going to, so it's going to do all this stuff first, right? It's to create the to create the see main Google Container Cluster. That's what the Terraform is going to be using. It's going to do all of this stuff for us, right? So if we go to, in the meantime, before we do this, right, because we're going to see it happening in real time, let's go to cloud. Let's go here, and now we're looking at our Urban Dictionary of Economic Data, and we're going to do GK, Google Kubernetes Engine. So right now, we do not have any clusters, right? We don't have any clusters created. We are going to do our Terraform apply, and now, if it works, we should see our cluster gets created, all right? So let's do that. We are going to go to Terraform, apply. And do we want to take the actions? Yes. So now it's creating it. So once that happens, right, we will then go into our terminal in Google to start creating stuff, and then we can go back and forth over the next few weeks so that we can do our Kubernetes as well as our Terraform. So once we figure out Kubernetes and we figure out how to Terraform it, all right, kind of like what we did for when we were using AWS. So while it's creating, let's go over here. Let's do a refresh. See if anything's happening. So you see our cluster is being created, right? Just by applying that command, we set up our credentials, we set up our container in US East 1, and now it's doing its thing. It is doing its thing. It's gonna take some time. So while that is happening, we're gonna start doing some research on, we need to deploy our API first and then our UI. Similar to what we're looking into last week, but now we're incorporating Terraform into it, okay? So while it's doing its thing, we're going to go here, and I'm going to say, maybe we could do, let me click in here. So it's configuring, it's deploying. Let's see. We would want, so the steps, let me do this. Draw.io. And we're going to go to decide later. So we need to, let's say, I don't know if we have cluster maybe. So let's take this, right? In our cluster, right, we need to have so let's do a database here. So I'm just like mapping out, doing a quick little diagram of what's happening, okay? So let's do database. So database would be our Mongo. Let's say I go to here. So Mongo sits over here, right? And in our cluster, let's see, we do API. So the cluster has the API. The API connects to Mongo, which is outside of the whole cluster stuff. And we also have in the cluster, we're going to have, let's see, UI maybe? Oops. Let's see. Let's say we take the website for the front end, and this is connected here, but this is going to be using the API. So the cluster has the API, the cluster has the website, but the website is using the API, and the API is getting information from Mongo. Okay, so that's basically what we're trying to build. When we did it locally, the cluster also had Mongo, but because we have a separate Mongo, we don't need to do that. All right, let's see. Let's go to. All right, let's see what's happening over here. Still creating it. So we need to see. So all right, so we're gonna have to create our deploy, where we're going to say deploy container to GKE, right? So we're gonna deploy the container so deploy an app to GKE, right? So this is what we were using last week. So we already, so this is what we have terraformed right here, right? We have terraformed, or what's being deployed right now via Terraform is creating the container clusters. Okay, so next we're gonna have to do we're gonna have to do the one for the API. We're going to have to pass in how to connect to Mongo. Let's see. Let's see. And we know to connect to Mongo, we're gonna have to set the environment variable to do that. Let's see. We just have to wait for the deployment to be done. But in the meantime, we can start writing our. Last week we were also deploying the. So let's go. I'm gonna duplicate this tab. Last week we were also setting up our registry so that we could have our container registry. Is it artifact registry? So we have this one from last week. We have our front end and our back end, right? So we need to deploy our back end first. So we are going to say, it'll be kubectl create deployment hello UDEC BE, and we're going to pass in the image of where it's located. And then we're going to have to set the environment variable, and then we're going to have to expose it. Or actually, we're going to have to redeploy it, and then we're going to have to expose it. Going off the top of my head of what we did when we did it in Minikube, but then we'll have to figure it out on the cloud, right? But we see over here where we're going to have to pass in the different ports and stuff like that, which is totally fine. Let's see. It's still going. Right now, doing the health checks. It says cluster creation can take 5 minutes or more. Let's see. Are we good? We are good. As soon as we got the green check mark over here. If we go back over here, it tells us that one resource was added. Nothing was changed. Nothing was destroyed. All right. So what we're gonna do now is we are going to transition to using our cloud terminal for now, but we'll also be, so probably next week, I don't know if we'll have enough time for it today, but we'll be looking into how to use Terraform to deploy the images of you know, to set up the image and all that type of stuff, like the services, the deployment, all that, right? So let's go over to here, or here. We're gonna click this open. Do I want to use that, or do I want to use my regular terminal? I think I want to use my regular terminal because I don't like using theirs, right? So yeah, let's do that. Let me use my regular terminal. What I will do is I will. Do I have rectangles running? I will. Go here, here. Oh, that's the wrong application. I will go here, and so I have that here, and I want to take this one. I'll just do it manually. Let's do right half. All right, there we go. So I want to be able to see it. So we're gonna be looking at both of these here, right? I wish I could. Let me close this out right here. All right, there we go. So I want to say that. Let me move myself as well. Actually, no. What I'm going to do is here. Clear. Here. All right, there we go. Now we can see it better. Let me bring this down just a little bit. All right. So I want to do cd / urban dictionary infrastructure. All right. So I want to say that, let's see, G cloud. All right. So I want to say clear G cloud, or I want to do cube. Oh, no. I can't. I think I have to use. I don't, but I do. Because if I do kubectl, it's gonna do it locally on my machine. Let's go to the cloud. We'll go to the cloud for now. The cloud terminal, I mean. So here we are in the cloud terminal. Move it up a little bit. And I want to do kubectl. And we're going to say create deployment. We're going to call it UDEC GKE. We're going to say the image that we're using is going to be equals US-east1. Is it dash docker? Let me see. Dash docker.pkg. .dev / urban dictionary economic is that, yeah, data / UDECBE, and we're gonna go with latest, I guess. Ooh, don't cancel that. Latest. And we will say, I think that's good enough for now. All right, so while that's happening,
Lunch break! Lunch break!
let's see. Let's see if there's anything we can see that's happening. Timeout. US East 1 dash Docker dot. That's weird. APIs be named space deployments. Did I get the wrong name or something? Let's see. Go here. Oh, okay. We missed the. All right. So let's do this part real quick and then we'll continue. I missed a. All right. Let's see if that works, and then we'll go to break. Let's see. It should connect. But while we wait for that, let's actually go to break while we wait because it's taking a little bit longer than I want. All right, we are at break. Let me check the chat, and then we will get to our second break time discussion where I'm talking about how I help people to build the skills, build the experience and stuff like that. All right. So, but let's check the chat first. Let me see what we got going on over here. Miss Freckles said no pay cut for her.
Do not come.
I'm content with what I make now, but honestly, with the brain power I use, I could use a pay raise. Gotta go out there and get it. We gotta go out there and get it, right? It says, from when I almost says Ms. Freckles showing TCR compassion, mercy and grace, no more, no compassion in 2025. I think, Roxy, when we show compassion, that is when this is going to sound so bad, but when you show compassion, right? I'm not saying not to be nice to people, but I think you have to be very, very surgical with your compassion, because when you are just like, oh, like when your first reaction is, oh, you know, then that's when people's radars are up to like, all right, let me see if I can get something out of that person, you know, or like, let's say they're supposed to do something, but you're so compassionate that you give them pass after pass after pass. It's like you can't really have compassion on kids, you know. Most people act like kids at the end of the day, right? So it's like when I say no compassion, it's like if I have compassion on you, then you're not gonna reach your goals. And that's why I'm like, all right, if you're hurt or something like that, okay, yes, you get compassion there. But if you say that you need to achieve something, I can't have compassion. I'm like, oh, it's okay. You can always try tomorrow. You know, tomorrow turns into next week. Next week turns into next month turns into next year, and you're exactly where you were. And I'm like, and then I get the blame because it's like, well, you were supposed to push me and you were so nice to me. And I'm like, nope, we can't do it. I have to say, right, no compassion in 2025 if you want it. Now, if you don't want to reach your goals, then I have more than enough compassion to spread, right? But people take advantage of compassion. That's the truth. That is the truth. It says, I couldn't find a gavel emoji, but you're still right. Roxy, stop choking and breathe. It says, it was probably an iguana bone. Oh my God. That is terrible. It says, I like the fact that you can copy and paste on KE. Help me out, Miss Freckles. What's KE? Did I say something? What's KE? It says, TCR eats lizards on Sunday. She means iguanas. She means iguanas. Those big, disgusting lizards. Find out something new every day. I do not eat iguanas, all right? I do not eat iguanas. So let's clear that. So it was a show last year that you were not here for, Miss Freckles, where we were talking about, we were talking about like maybe grilling something, and the only Roxy says, how about iguanas? I'm like, do you eat iguanas? And we had a poll, and somebody said yes, they eat iguanas in the poll. So that's the story behind the iguanas, Miss Freckles. I do not, or at least I do not knowingly eat iguanas. Have I ever ate one? I don't know what they put in all these places, but I have never knowingly eaten an iguana. We got my guy, the nourishing word, Rod Brown. What's up, Rod Brown? Hopefully you're doing well. Let's see. It says, no, don't accept Sunday dinner invites. Oh my goodness. My goodness. Oh my gosh. It says, I'm good just getting these wings ready for the grill. Do you mean chicken wings or iguana legs? I cannot confirm nor deny. If you mean iguana legs, Roxy might show up at the party. Maybe not. I don't know. It says nice watch. It says passwordly. Thank you. See, thank you, Miss Freckles. You know what, Miss Freckles. I might have to take Mitch's wrench and give it to you, because not to spam the chat. You know what, Mitch? You better be on your best behavior. You better. Oh my goodness. Are we having smoked wings? Robert, did you say smoked wings? Oh my! I might have to make a trip. I might have to take a trip. Let's see. Q. The Kubernetes engine. I got you. Okay, I got you. Let's see. I would not confirm or deny, if you'll show up if you have smoked iguana legs at the party. All right. I don't know. She was the one who brought up iguanas. You never know what might happen. Mitch says you better stop. Oh my God. Mitch will always be a moderator on this channel. No matter what, Mitch is always a moderator. I didn't mean to do that. All right, so let's jump into this real quick. So I'm gonna share some insight really quick on how I help those that I'm coaching build. It's like building experience, but also building confidence, right? Because a lot of times we'll learn. I don't think I need 5 minutes, but I'll put 5 minutes. A lot of time, I always say I don't think I need 5 minutes, then I go for 10, right? Sue me. But a lot of times we will learn in whether we go to college, whether we are taking a boot camp, whether we're taking a Udemy course, whatever it is that we're doing, right? And they give us very targeted things to follow, and we will do it. But now when it comes to like, okay, how do we apply this in the real world? And now we're kind of stuck. We're like, I'm not sure where you kind of end up saying,
I'm in a bind, Nate.
And not only are you in a bind, Nate, also
I hate it here. I want to go home.
Sometimes you do, right? Because what happens is with these online courses in college, in these boot camps, they say, all right, this is exactly what you need. But then as soon as you try to do something on your own, it's like what Mike Tyson says everybody has a game plan until they get punched in the face, right? So I'm like, all right, well, if you're going to get punched in the face, allow me to do the punching, but also provide you with the protective gear that you need so that you can actually build that experience, build that resiliency, right? So what I end up doing, I'm like, all right, so I'll say we're going to be building this project, and based on what you're learning, whether you're learning QA, whether you're learning networking, DevOps, whatever, I'm like, all right, you are going to do the infrastructure work, like setting up the load balancers, the subnets, all that type of stuff. It just depends on what it is that you're doing. So through all the people that I've been coaching, those like people come and people go, you know, but I'm always putting them in a position to actually learn through work, learn through building. So they've been able to start using their automation code on applications that we're building, learning how to use how to test locally, learning how to use Docker, GitHub, even as part of the training, I'll say, all right, in our sprint for the next 2 weeks, you're going to be doing section 4, 5, and 6 of the Git course so that you can get more familiar with branching and stuff like that. And then like if I'm training somebody who's learning for like DevOps and AWS, I'm like, all right, or Microsoft Azure, I'm like, all right, while you're studying, like you're taking the labs and stuff, because they will do great on the labs, right? They'll do superb on the labs. And I'm like, all right, now go apply it. Then they get stuck. So I'm saying, what I need you to do, go figure out how to deploy this application. Like we're doing here, like we're trying to figure out Kubernetes here, right? Go figure out how to deploy this application, and we will work together every week, every other week, trying to get it to work until we see it working, right? Because the key is how can you actually apply what you're learning? I don't care about certifications. Like if you can get them, great, right? But so many people, they get the certification, but they don't have the actual knowledge. So, or not the knowledge, but the actual implementation experience, the practical experience. So I'm like, I need to find a way for you to build that experience. So now when you end up on your resume, you say, oh, I did this, and this. And then on your resume or on your interview, you're like, oh yeah, so I've set up a Kubernetes engine for this particular application, which the application is live on the internet. And you go, oh yeah, you can pull it up. This is the infrastructure behind it. This is what is being used. This is the team that actually built the application, and then they pass it over to me to deploy it. Boom, 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 boom. You have amazing talking points. You know how to do the work, all of that good stuff. So that is like the strategy that I employ when I am coaching my people, right? Because the biggest gap, and I spoke to a recruiter about this. I said, what is the biggest gap you get when you get these people out of college who take these online courses that the boot camp? They said the biggest gap that we have is practical experience. They don't know how to do the job. I remember you guys yesterday were going crazy about minimum payment for different roles, but my belief is that a job is not required to teach you how to do the basics of the job. They might need to teach you like how they work, but you need to know how to do the job. So if you're a DevOps engineer, you went to school for DevOps, you need to know how to do DevOps before you actually get the offer, right? Same for software development.
Get a move on. Back to work. Chop, chop. Let's go. Come on. Get a move on. Back to work. Back to work. Back to work.
It is not the responsibility of the company to teach you what you should learn in school or however else you learn it. Their responsibility is to teach you how to use that within the company, but not to teach you everything, right? So that's my take on it. And I use a strategy of, all right, let me just throw you into the fire. One of the people that I was coaching last year, within 3 weeks of joining the coaching program, I had him using Docker. I had him using GitHub to start up the application in order so that they can actually start testing it, and that's how all of them are, right? And they are like, I'll put them against anybody. I would put them against anybody, any bootcamp graduate, maybe some even college graduates. I'll put them up against, because that's how confident that I am in their abilities. And every single week we are talking, preparing for interviews, refining resumes, all that good stuff. So that is how I try to help you guys build that experience that you need so that you can have that confidence that you need when you're on the interview, so you can have those discussions, all right? So that was that. Let's continue. Let me check the chat one last time, and then we're going to get back to our last segment of work. Let's see. It says, I'm a need. My goodness. Why did I put this up? Why did I'm not even bothering with you. I'm not even bothering with you. It says, we expect a picture on Discord. It says, where the party at? It says, so Rex is at the old abandoned victory site. My goodness. All right, let's get to our last segment of work. And Roxy says, actually, let's get to our last segment of work, all right? So let's do this. We are going to, why is this thing not working? All right, let's go to our last 20.
It's time to do.
And why is this thing not finding? So we have image equals. Oh, wait a second. This is not the name that I want anyways. So let's create the deployment. I don't want this name. So kubectl create deployment. And we're going to say this is going to be for the back end. And image equals US East 1 docker.pkg. Something's wrong. Hold on. This would be US East 1. Hold on. Let's see. US East 1 in South Carolina. UDC BE latest. That should do it. Image US East 1 dash docker dot pkg dot dev. Let's see. So if we look at, which one is this one? This is the, where's the one? Where's the one I was looking at? Okay, so, oh, it's over here. That's why. Hold on, let me move it back. Image US Docker. Why is it not finding it? Create, let me see. Is it because we use the, let's say gcloud container clusters ls clusters list. So we have the GKE cluster running. So now if we were to do, let me see. So let's do this. Oh, okay, maybe it's the credentials part then. So let's do, maybe it's the credentials. I don't know. Let's do gcloud container clusters get credentials, and then we are doing UDEC GKE cluster, and then we're doing location US East 1. Unrecognized argument. Is it dash dash location? Okay. So now if I go back and I try, why am I not? I thought I was sharing the screen. Hold on. I thought I was sharing the screen. Right. So pretty much what I did already, I got the list of clusters, and then I setting up the. Here said that we were supposed to get the authentication for the cluster. This command configures kubectl to use your cluster you created. So then we're gonna do this one, right? So let's do that. So now if we go back to this command right here, that should work, hopefully. All right, there we go. So that's great. So we didn't have authentication. Whoa, where'd that come from? All right. Let me. We're gonna do this. All right. Give me a second. Alrighty then. Cool. All right. So now our deployment is created. So if we do kubectl get deployment, we should have that. But it's, oh my god. Let me see. That's not the name I wanted. Let's do kubectl delete deployment udec.gke. See, I remember some of these commands, right? But I actually want this to be be car. So all right, we got that done. Let's do kubectl get deployments. All right, there goes our deployment. It's down, which I expect it to be down because we need to set up our environment variable. Let's go to kubectl. Oh, what we were doing last time was we're trying to set up our secrets, right? So I'm gonna use this one. I don't want to view. All right, so pass secret, crash G or Google secret value into GKE deployment. Use secret manager. All right, how to inject secrets from Google secret manager. And that's not exactly what I want. Consuming Google Secrets Manager or secret. All right, let's see what this one has to say. Google. All right. Consuming or retrieving secrets from Google Manager and GKE can be achieved in various ways, either by directly calling the API, using some Kubernetes native tools or third-party open source software, directly fetching from GSM using the API. Most secure option, secrets remain in memory, calls to GSM API. Using Kubernetes secret store in CSI driver. Let's see. Well, how do you do it? This one is, all right, let's see what this one is. Let me see. I don't know about that one. So what about this API? Secret store CSI providing GCP. So if we do create a new cluster with workload identity, or all right, install secret CSI driver, or hire, install the Google plugin. Okay. Let's see. Cube CTL apply -f deploy. How do I know if I have this installed? So, secret store, deployment using Helm. Let me see. Alternatively, we could do that. Let's, For the time being, I'm just going to go to, we'll figure out that part later, but I'm going to go back over here and I'm going to say cube CTL set env deployment -udec udec be space, and then we're going to call it what is the name of that? Let me see. Let's see. So that is going to be called database connection. All right. So we're going to say database connection equals. Let me go to MongoDB. And we're going to sign in. What I'll probably try to do is pick up at because I can tear this down quickly now. I will probably so after we spin up the Kubernetes cluster next week and we start the deployment, we can get straight into the secrets. Let's see. All right. So I'm going to go to the other screen real quick while I try to set this stuff up. So I'm going to go to copy that. And we're going to go back. I'm going to go over here, paste that in there. I just got to get the password. All right. Almost there. Give me a second. Go to full screen while I do this. All right. Let's see what happens. All right, so I got the environment variable updated. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna clear that out so I don't share it. All right, let's go back to over here, and I'm gonna go back over here, and I'm going to say to network access. I'm gonna allow access for now to allow access from anywhere. I'll do it for 6 hours. That's still something that we need to figure out with how to connect our virtual database stuff, our to a private, like, private connection, all right, so this is up. So now if we go to here, we are going to want to say, first we're going to do kubectl. What was it? Let me do help. We're going to do kubectl, and then we're going to do, it's not replace, it is rollout. Roll out. Oh, kubectl, we're going to say roll out help. And we're going to say restart or redeploy. This is restart. Restart. And we're going to say deploy met udc -be. And I think that should do it. All right, so that's that. Let's do kubectl get deployment. Did it roll out or not? Okay, there we go. So it didn't restart before because it didn't find it. But now it restarted because I missed the S in deployments. So now if we do get deployments, no, it's still not showing up. I don't know why. Let me see. Let's go look at the let's see. Let's take a look at the clusters. Let's open this up. App errors. Let's see. Let's see what our errors are. What direction are they going in? Let's see here. Not seeing anything yet. Let's take a look at the errors. Unknown something. Okay, let's see. Connect to server. Why didn't that work? UDC expose, or I'm sorry, not UDC. It is going to be kubectl. Let's see. So kubectl. Then we need to do expose UDC BE. Double check on this documentation. Let's see. Expose deployment. All right. So expose deployment and then the name of it and then load balance. Right. Got it. Sorry about that. Expose deployment, udec-be, type equals load balancer. Let me see. Let's go here. Target port. All right, so port and target port. So the port would be, let's do that. We would say, dash port. Port equals, we could do port. Let's go with
Lunch break. Lunch break.
let's go with 3500 on this one. And target port equals 3000. All right. And let me double check on this one. I think that should, oh, there's no equal sign. Maybe it doesn't matter. And we go here, space. Hope I have the word exposed twice. Let's go here, enter. All right, so that's exposed. So let's do, I don't know why I would expect this to show up. So cube CTL get services. All right. So I think we need to figure out, I need to look through the logs to see what gotta troubleshoot to see what is causing it not to, okay, so it has an IP now. But that one is still out. So let me do it one more time. Cube CTL row. I always forget this command. Let's see. Roll out. Roll out. Okay. Roll out. Restart. udec-b. Oh, deployment. That should do it. I don't know. All right. Well, we'll start troubleshooting from there. So now we know how to get this up to this point a lot faster. I'll do a little bit of research on getting the secrets to work, but then maybe next week we'll get to this point. Find out how to use the secrets, and then we'll go from there. But I think that's a good stopping point for now. That is a good stopping point for the time being. Let's go to full screen. I have a coaching call at 5:30 Eastern time, so I'm gonna jump out of here in just a few minutes. But let me see something real quick.
Yo, the sign is real simple, B. It says wrap it up. Wrap that shit up, B.
All right. To wrap it up, before I check the chat to say goodbye, I want to do one final public service announcement. Do me a favor, if you haven't done so already, check out the questionnaire, I guess I'll call it, in the chat about traumatic brain injury. I'm also gonna put it in the description of this video. I'm gonna put it in all my descriptions going forward, but would really appreciate you if you can fill out that survey, that questionnaire that shares what you know about TBI, about traumatic brain injury, because my cousin suffered one last year, still recovering from it, but also wants to help people understand what it is. If you are dealing with one, offering support, but also if you know somebody that has a traumatic brain injury, how to support them as well. So click on the link in the chat, fill out the questionnaire, the survey, the form, and help us gather data and go from there, right? Other announcements, Abandoned album Friday. You see the hat, you see the t-shirt. Abandoned album Friday at midnight. It's going, and I have a lot of plans that I'm going to be doing with that. So Friday, make sure you listen to the album. It's going to be absolute fire. Saturday night, we're going to be going live. We're going to be talking about the album, listening session, breaking down how it all came about, all of that good stuff. And last but certainly not least, we are doing last but not least, tomorrow morning I'm going to be live with Tech Bag Trays on the Talk That Tech show. I'm going to drop the link in the description, in the chat one last time, so that you guys can join me over there. Let them know that Tech Coach Ralph sent you tomorrow morning. Let's make it strong. Let's make it strong. All right. So let's go ahead and subscribe to Talk That Tech. I want to see you guys in the chat, and let's go and support my friends over there as well. And I will be doing a great show. It's gonna be an amazing show tomorrow morning. All right. And then tomorrow afternoon, noon, we're going to be having candid conversation about why is winning so damn hard. All right. That's the plan for tomorrow and for the rest of the week. All right. Let me check the chat before we get up and out of here. Let's see what's going on. Let me see. Mitch and Miss Freckles are going back and forth. Mitch wants some 7. Miss Freckles says, did you hire me as, let me move this out of the way so I could read this. Did you hire me as a personal chef? Thank you for giving me the basics for tonight's dinner. Look at that. I didn't receive my advance. You know, the advance is for groceries. Ms. Regos, you do not move an inch until you see the funds. All right, yeah, until you see the funds. Says apologies. I should have told you. Retired. I cook with so much love. I have to downsize to restrictedly cook for home. A chef can make. Are you an official chef? Are you an official chef, Ms. Freckles? That's awesome. That's awesome. It says good catch on exposed being duplicated. Thank you so much. Let's see. I cook every single day. It's on the menu tonight. I just thank you for your time. It is my absolute pleasure. Just too much. Anyways, I am going to get up and out of here. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to Sunday afternoons, working on DevOps, working on Kubernetes, including Terraform, all of that good stuff. I really, really appreciate you guys. But I gotta go. You guys have an amazing, amazing rest of your day. Tech Coach Ralph, we are out.
They said I wouldn't make it, they laughed at my dream. Every move I made felt like swimming upstream. But yesterday I met a fan, eyes full of belief. In their gaze I saw the end to my grief.
Doubt didn't win, trust began. Looked in the mirror, saw my biggest fan. Heart beats like a drum, fight through the span. Kept on pushing, now I'm the man.
Folks called it trash, said I'd never thrive. Every word I spat, cut deep like a knife. Thought my wings were clipped, stuck in a dive. But mirrors don't lie, I saw myself alive. I put in all the hours, climbed out from the dirt. They dissed and dismissed, said I'd always get hurt. Met a fan so loyal, reflections don't lie. my biggest supporter is just me and my mind.
Through the noise and shadows I held my ground. Bumps, bruises, broken, no comfort found. But that friend's smile turned my world around. Now I'm rising sky high above the sound.
Doubt didn't win and trust I began when I looked in the mirror, saw my biggest fan. Heartbeats like a drum fight through the span. Kept on pushing, now I'm the man.
From the ashes I flew, they can't dim my flame. Every mocking voice only fed my aim. Yesterday showed me it's not just a game, 'cause in my reflection I found my name.
Folks called it trash, said I'd never thrive. Every word I spat cut deep like a knife. Thought my wings were clipped, stuck in a dive. But mirrors don't lie, I'm the man.
From the ashes I flew, they can't dim my flame. Every mocking voice only fed my aim. Yesterday showed me it's not just a game, 'cause in my reflection I found my name.
Folks called it trash, said I'd never thrive. Every word I spat cut deep like a knife. Thought my wings were clipped, stuck in a dive. But mirrors don't lie, I'm the man.
Goodbye, crabs in the barrel, no more dragging me low. Turn my back on the sorrow, watch how strong I'll grow. I'm waving from the shoreline as I head for the sun. Life is calling me forward, now the journey's begun. Thanks so much, but it's time to say goodbye. Bye, bye, goodbye, bye, bye. I've gotta go and live my life. Tangled in their web of lies, chasing shadows in disguise. Thought they had my back for sure, realized they're wanting more. Walking away from shadows past me I've outgrown. They clung to my dreams while they polished their own stone. Thought they had my back, but they were pulling me down. Goodbye to the crabs, I'm leaving this tired town. Pulling me down deep below. In a barrel anger grows, crabs in corners seeking light, only find the darkest night. They laughed while I stumbled, fed doubts to my mind. Mirror reflected faces of a different kind. Chains made of whispers didn't let me fly free. Now I'm breaking loose, leaving shells in the sea. Goodbye, crabs, I'm walking free, 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 free. Done with all your misery. I'm so done, watching dreams fade one by one, fading one by one. I won't stop till I'm gone, till I'm gone. Climbing out of pits of doubt, turn my back, no looking out. Past the sorrow, past the pain, leave your echoes in the rain. Every step I take now feels light on my feet. No more anchors pulling me down to deceit. Echoes of freedom in the beat of path ahead is lonely, but my spirit's alive. No more shadows around me, no more tales to contrive. Rising above from the deep darkest blue. Farewell to the clouds, I've got new skies to view.